Mediators say talks between the U.S. and Iran over Tehran's nuclear program have made significant progress, but details of the negotiations in Geneva are still unclear. In the meantime, President Trump has ordered the biggest buildup of U.S. forces in the region for decades as he weighs taking military action.
CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro has the latest. So, Aaron, what are the key sticking points that have kept both sides here at odds?
Adriana, I'll start with some of the requests from the U.S. and the White House. The main one being that Iran never has the capability to build a nuclear weapon. And they say that that should be an indefinite timeline with no expiration date. The administration and Secretary Rubio this week have also shown frustrations that Iran is not yet talking to the U.S. about reducing or eliminating its ballistic missile supply. We know that there are concerns from the administration that Iran could use those missiles to strike Israel or nearby U.S. bases. And so far, they have not been a part of these negotiations, which Secretary of State Rubio said on Wednesday is a, quote, big problem. Iran has maintained that they do not have and will not build a nuclear weapon, but they should be able to enrich uranium at a level that can be used for, quote, peaceful technology, such as for energy or medical devices. That has remained a key sticking point. And Iran is also pushing for substantial relief from economic sanctions that have crippled the country's economy for decades. We know that Vice President Vance will meet with Oman's foreign minister in Washington, D.C. today. Oman has been a key mediator in these indirect talks between the U.S. and Iran. And we know that technical teams will meet next week in Vienna at the International Atomic Energy Agency, the nuclear watchdog for the United Nations, to talk more about a framework for a nuclear deal between the U.S. and Iran.
All right, so what kind of precautions is the United States taking to protect U.S. officials in the region? Is this signaling anything?
We learned the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem today authorized the departure of non-emergency personnel and their family members. They advise, quote, persons may wish to consider leaving Israel while commercial flights are still available. We know that earlier this week, the U.S. also ordered the evacuation of non-essential personnel from its embassy in Beirut. This signals, one, concerns that Israel will be a likely target for retaliation by Iran if the U.S. strikes, and two, that U.S. strikes remain on the table. The news of this evacuation, this call for the departure of non-emergency personnel, is paired with the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier moving to Israel within striking distance of Iran, signaling that either limited or large-scale military strikes remain on the table for this White House, for this president, despite him and the administration claiming that diplomacy is the preferred route. They still could use these actions to potentially coerce Iran into complying with their request for a nuclear deal.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much.